Hey, what's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, the Waiver King Ward, coming at you live from my garage. This is the Fantasy Footballin Show, and this episode is something. It's going to be like a start and sit, specifically targeted towards one team that I'm going to do and one team that Jason's going to do for Thursday night footballs games or whatever. And so we'll be doing this on a weekly basis. Hopefully, it'll be on a Thursday morning or something, so we have the most up-to-date information on your players. But yeah, so the Rams are playing the Bills tonight, and so there's two great offenses, and two great defenses, and so we're gonna have a really good game to kick off the season. And so what I was looking at was the over and under for this game. Just to kind of get an idea of the fantasy points available or what Vegas thinks it's going to be. And the over and under is going to be 51.5. So it's not a huge over and under, but it's not small at all either. So example score is like 28 to 24, so it'll be like 7 touchdowns and a field goal, maybe something like that. So Vegas is thinking there's going to be a lot of touchdowns in this game. And so not only are you going to want to start people because it's the kickoff of the year and you drafted them, even if I tell you to maybe pause on that player, you might just want to play him anyways, because watching Thursday Night Football to kick off the NFL season is pretty amazing. Sorry about this light right here. It's flickering. I'm going to buy a new fluorescent light, and hopefully that helps the situation here. So anyways, first off, so I'm doing the Rams. Jason's doing the Buffalo Bills. So you got to start with the big dog, Matthew Stafford. And the thing that jumped out to me here was that the Bills, they allowed the fewest points per game to opposing fantasy quarterbacks last year. So the Bills, if you had a quarterback start against the Bills last year, it normally would not work out for you. So maybe, this is a whole new year, but the last time we saw the Bills, they were killing quarterbacks. Well, I say that. Last time we saw the Bills, they had like 600 yards against them and like 5 touchdowns. I mean, one of those was in 20 seconds or something like that. But still, historically speaking, these Bills are going to be able to contain the Rams. So Matthew Stafford, I would push play on Matthew Stafford. I would play him if I had him and you drafted him, in like the 7th or whatever. So you have to start him. And unless you you somehow drafted 2 quarterbacks for some reason, and the other quarterback has an amazing matchup. But Thursday Night Football, you kind of want to start your dudes, especially, the first one you want to start. And just a reminder to everybody, put your Thursday night players into your actually wide receiver or running back slot, not your flex. That takes away a lot of your flexibility on Sunday mornings. If you already have a dude that played on Thursday and took up your flex spot, you have to start a wide receiver or running back in that position on Sunday. So don't do it. And anyways, so next up, Cooper Kupp. He's going to be amazing. He's going to be hyper-targeted, and no matter who is covering him, and no matter who they're playing. So Cooper Kupp, smash play. So this one's a big one. A lot of people are going to be facing this question: should I play Cam Akers? See, I drafted Darrell Henderson in the last round, and I still believe Darrell Henderson's going to have maybe more points than Cam Akers at the end of the year. But if Cam Akers is going to do well, it's going to be in the beginning of the year, I think, because of his health and his body type and everything else. But last time we saw Cam Akers, he was being utilized a ton, but he was super inefficient. So we've got a Bills, we've got a Bills defense that is, I checked them out last year. They were 17th in attempts against, so people ran against them a lot last year, in the middle of the pack. They were 11th in yards per carry allowed, so they weren't like amazing, but they weren't bad at all either. So they would contain running backs. 26th in TDs allowed, rushing touchdowns allowed. So I wouldn't bet on Cam Akers getting a touchdown today, if you had to. And then 4.6 yards per play, this was a good one. They allowed so Buffalo Bills, in general, are going to contain a lot of the big plays on the Rams. They allowed 4.6 yards per play last year. They were the only team that had that number under 5. So, they do give up some rushing, but Cam Akers is kind of a question mark. They really contain passing, and overall they don't allow big plays. So it's going to be hard, but playing Cam Akers. But if you want to, just do it because it's the first game. Can't blame you. Matt Gay, you got to play him, dude. Matt Gay's awesome. Allen Robinson, I would start him, no problem. Like I said, there's going to be maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns for the Rams. And how many can Cooper Kupp catch, you know? I would expect Allen Robinson to get like 80 yards and a touchdown tonight or something like that. Van Jefferson is out, which sucks because I was really excited to see him without Odell Beckham Jr. And I wanted to see if they did the Deshaun Jackson thing and just tossed a couple long balls a game, you know? If you remember what Deshaun Jackson was for them last year before he got injured and everything, he caught some huge, like, deep balls. And in our league, we get a bonus for long plays, so it worked out even better. So you got to be, you know, you're pausing on him because he's out. But I would hold on to him just because he may have big value here in a couple weeks when we see what his role in this offense is, because it's going to be an amazing offense. Darrell Henderson I own, and I'm not starting. So I would almost bank on a Darrell Henderson touchdown this game. But I'm not starting him because I need to wait and see. I got him in the last round of our draft. So even though I expect great things from him, I'm not going to do it my first play, especially where I drafted him. I can afford to start other people in front of him. But if you have to, you could probably expect maybe like 30 yards and a touchdown from Darrell Henderson. But I imagine they're going to try to, even though they say it's a 50-50 split, I imagine they're going to lean towards Cam Akers in the beginning. So Tyler Higbee, the tight end, the hipster. He is just a top 10, around 10 tight end a week, and I don't see that changing, even though the Bills have a really good coverage linebacker core. If you don't really care about your upside for a tight end and you just want some points just to get you through the week, just start Tyler Higbee. So I'm pressing play on Tyler Higbee. Rams defense, pause. I'm not starting the Rams defense because last time we saw the Bills, they put up like 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. So if you have a better option, Rams defense has amazing players. You know, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, and Bobby Wagner now. So there's high hopes for this defense, but you don't want to start him in the beginning, even though defense usually wins out on offense in the beginning of the year. If you listen to coaches, you know, offenses are not as progressed as defenses are in the beginning of the year. So there's a chance they really do put it down on the Rams, but I wouldn't bet that way. I wouldn't even want to take that risk, especially your first week. Just go somewhere else if you can. And so I think that's everybody on the Rams that I can cover. So anyways, good luck to everybody. If you like this video, you can do that in real life. Click that thumbs up button and subscribe button, and you will make me feel weightless for like 48 hours. I feel so good, man. I know it's not a lot of views or whatever, but even what we're getting right now, oh my God, dude, it makes me feel so good. So thank you so much. And if you hate this video, you can do that in real life too and leave a hurtful comment per usual. You know, say my hairline looks like the black stripe on Charlie Brown's shirt. Or say something mean. I don't really care. Sorry about all the sweat, dude. It is like 150 degrees in here. I just got off work, so I will be catching you guys later. Good luck to your fantasy football teams.